Are doing well. Welcome back to my channel Code Fusion Hub. Today I am here with another new video of solving our database problems of MySQL. So taking up this challenge, we are moving on to another video today. Make sure you have subscribed to my channel. If you are a new user, then hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. And make sure you are updated throughout the whole series. In case if you have missed any of the video, I'll give you the link in the description box. You can check it out from there, and be consistent throughout the whole series and make sure you practice each and every question that has been covered here. Okay, so let's start with our today's problem. So we are going to solve the question number 1158 over here for today. Okay, which is of difficulty level medium. So we are going to solve this problem. So this problem states market analysis. So what is this all about? Question. There is a table which is named as user. It has specific columns such as user ID, join date, and the favorite brand as well. Okay, they are data types int, date, and varchar similarly. Now, user ID here is the primary key of this table. Okay, now this table contains the information of all the users of an online shopping websites where user can sell or buy items, any of them. Here we have another table here that is named as orders, which has specific order ID, the order date, the item ID, the buyer ID, and the seller ID. Okay, only the date is having the data type as date, rest all are having as int. Now here order is the primary key of this table, and item ID here is nothing but the foreign key, the reference to this users table. Okay, sorry, it is the reference to what items table. Okay, so we have another table which is named as items over here, which is given below. And the buyer ID and seller ID is nothing but the foreign key references from this user table. Okay, that is nothing but this. So here we have item specifically, that is item ID, the brand as well over here. And here item ID is going to be primary keys. That means we don't have any duplicates over here in this tables. Now what we have to do is we have to find a solution to find for each user the join date and the number of orders they made as a buyer in 2019. Okay, so we have to return the result in any of the order. It is okay. We have specific inputs over here and we have the specific output. We have to specify that when the user came and has joined this and what did they buy in 2019. Okay, so we have to mention them. So here we have specific user IDs, their join date and their favorite brands over here. We have the order ID, the order date and the item and the buy sell ID. Here we have the item specifically what brand they have got. Now here we don't have to mention any brand or something. So we just have to get this buyer ID. Okay. When did the customer go and bought something? The join date for the same and how many orders were collected in 2019. If we check here in order date, okay, we have 2019 three sections. Okay. So in 2019 we have this order ID number 1. Okay, where the buyer ID is the ID number 1, that is this. Okay, the brand that he got was Lenovo. It is his favorite brand. Next, according to if second one we go, what do we have? How many orders do we have over here? The buyer ID is 2, only one item, right? So the order here was okay, it is not 2019 or what? Why the output is all acha? Okay, this is going to be the join date. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Talking about the buyer ID 3 and buyer ID 4, they bought how many items over here in 2018? Buyer ID 3 and the buyer ID 4 did not get any item in 2019, whereas the buyer ID 1 and the buyer ID 2 got some of the items in 2019. Okay, so the buyer 2 here, if we check here, has 2 items bought in 2019. One is this and the other one is this. Okay, so we have 2 orders for this buyer ID 2, 1 for 1 and 3 and 4 doesn't have any. Correct? So first of all, pause the video, try to read the question twice and thrice and understand what all that has been given over here, and comment down your approach you think should be appropriate for this particular question. Okay. So just pause the video for 5 seconds and just you can go and comment down the answer you think is appropriate for this approach. So yes, let's start with our query solution. Okay, we don't have to use much logic over here. We have to just apply joins accordingly to get specific conditions. So now what do we want here? Okay, first of all, we want buyer ID. Is buyer ID present anywhere? Yes, it is present over here. Okay, but it is present from the orders table, right? But we are going to access the join date from this users table. Now this buyer ID is nothing but this reference of this user ID only. So we are going to take this user ID, rename it as buyer ID. It is nothing but the buyer ID. We secondly what we want is the join date, correct? Secondly, we have the join date also over here. Now what we have to do is we have to count the number of orders over here. Okay, so we have to count the order ID. Okay, how many times this order ID is being placed against this particular ID. So first of all, let's just get our table sorted and let's just arrange them accordingly. So first of all, we have selected nothing but the, I am going to use the alias for this because we are going to use specific joins. So we are going to mention this user ID, okay, as nothing but the buyer ID, okay. Now, secondly, what we want is our join date, okay. The join date is from which column, which table? That is nothing but the users table. We are going to get this join date. Is this correct? Yeah. So we got the join date from the users table as well. Now, what we want over here, our third column is nothing but the orders over here. Now, how do we get this orders is nothing but by using the count function, okay. So we are going to count the orders, okay, the order IDs. But which order IDs? Only which were ordered in 2019. Okay, so we have to just rename this as orders in 2019, correct? Get this all from nothing but our users table, right? We have got this from users and we have given the alias as u for users, correct? So we have got this. Now what are we going to do is we are going to apply the left join, okay, over here. Now why are we going to apply a left join? Okay, what does this left join do is it performs nothing but this uh, join condition where it matches the user ID from the users table with the buyer ID from the orders table. It includes the rows where order date is present in the year 2019. Okay, basically how would it look is I'll just show you. Okay, so we are going to apply this left join and check the order ID and the user ID. Like what was the buyer ID in the orders table and what was the user ID in the users table. So we are going to check and accordingly to that we would get the order ID for the particular user. So for orders we are going to use this alias and here we are going to just mention this user ID and check that it is equal to the buyer ID, correct? From this table. Okay, so we are going to match this buyer ID, okay, which is having some specific order with this. So we would get this order ID eventually, but I don't want all the order IDs. I only want those orders, okay, who were present in the year 2019. Okay, so we are just going to take this order date, okay, order date, but it was only 2019, correct? So this 2019 is mentioned over here. Now what are we going to do is nothing but group by this user ID, correct? And also the join date. And we would specifically get all the required sets of data that we wanted over here. We can return the result in any order, so that's not mandatory over here, but particularly user by user wise we'll just group the data and then perform the aggregate function and count over this order ID over here. So our test cases have been accepted over here. We have got the expected output that was needed over here, correct? So now what are we going to do is, I hope so you have understood this problem till now. Whatever I have explained in today's video, I hope so it is clear to all of them. I'll just submit the code to evaluate all the hidden test cases that needs to be there, correct? So yeah, in case if you have any doubt, you can let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys with another new video. Make sure you're consistent throughout the whole playlist. If you're a new user, make sure to subscribe to my channel and never miss any update. So hit the notification bell too and share it with all your friends and colleagues. Hit the like button if you like the video. I'll see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Bye bye.